Hello, hello, and welcome.
Hello!
Hello.
Welcome to today's stream with developers.
Episode number 21, actually.
Okay.
Ah,
You remember the numbers,
It's
not us.
super important. Yeah.
the big news. Yes, we have the sound. We're told we have the sound. So the big news is that we changed the description of the game on Steam, and now it says instead of Q2 2019, Q3 2019, as we realize that there's about 5 weeks left in this quarter. No, maybe more. Yeah, 5 weeks left. And we're not going to enter early access in the period. We will be lucky if we enter closed beta within 8 weeks. 8 weeks is the period of time that we think is big enough not to be tomorrow, but short enough not to get depressed. But actually, could be 8 weeks from now, every week from today until we run out of money. So in terms of money, we have enough for the next 3 months, and in the next 3 months, we'll probably earn enough to get another month, or maybe more. It depends on how the Steam Summer Sale goes with Gremlins Inc. So if you haven't bought Gremlins Incorporated, it's a good time to do it during Humble Bundle Tabletop Sale, which is upcoming. I don't know. I hope only proper people listen to that. Or Steam Summer Sale. That directly contributes to how much money we have. And so actually, if you want to release the game faster, you should not buy the game. Then we have less money, then we have to ship faster, but you'll have more bucks. But you'll have all the bucks you want. So anyway, the big changes are that this week we spent a lot of discussions on global map. What do you see? What kind of resources do you see? At some point, there's been just too much. A lot of wood, a lot of mushrooms, a lot of berries, a lot of roots.
And a lot of resources you get in the early game.
Yeah.
You see too much at the start of the game. You know too much.
It was difficult. Also, we had a problem where if you launch the game and you see the area within a week's time of travel around the Spire, then you see a lot of stuff that maybe you don't even know about yet. Yes, magic source, you see some ruins, you see a lot of creatures, so that was a bit confusing. We are fixing that, fine-tuning thing. Monica is now working on quest icons. General rule is that on global map, whenever you see something, you should also see an indication of what you can do with it. If it's a resource, harvest it. If it's an item that you haven't researched before, then you can research it, and so on and so on. So basically everything should be actionable. Of other news, we had the first strawberry of the season on the studios there. There you go. It's not even June yet, but already strawberries. What else? Doing some more inventory items. Oh, you're
Yeah, I'd like to show what we're doing for a global map information layer. We're researching possible options and what we want to do.
Show like the most horrible screenshot that drives me crazy.
Okay, should be visible. I think this one, right? So
Kill me now! No!
on the screen you can see
everything.
Yeah, these black spots is the resources, all these materials, plants, ingredients, and all the stuff. And
It's a very easy game, very user-friendly.
actually it is, but there's just too much of the similar objects on the map. So we're trying to reduce the amount, to merge them together. So
And you won't get anything, you just click on the map and you get much. You get whatever you want. That's okay.
yeah, you have everything.
Yeah.
You can build a whole city with these resources, right?
And this screenshot represents about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 10%.
Of a global map.
Yeah. Probably
Something
10.
like this.
Ah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was not good.
And on a build side, this past 2 weeks was spent making the build more stable, less bugs, performance improvement. We've had a great breakthrough in the save load system. Finally, it takes us less than 10
1 hour,
15
half an
seconds.
hour.
Yes. So current save load system works super fast, and it's just great for testing for iterations and overall gaming and checking how it goes.
Also, we had conversations like, did you guys test the new mechanics? No. Why? Because the game keeps crashing. Ho, 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 ho. But that's a thing of the past.
Should be. We hope so. Yeah, and actually performance logic-wise, now we can run game time simulation much faster than the previous builds. I think up to 10 times faster or something like this. So game can simulate world much faster, so you can skip through the days.
Also, no more Mac builds for me. So after this stream, we're gonna go and pick up a new Windows computer that the disadvantaged people like me will use to play the game.
On the screen, you can see our test build where we're trying to see if it works or not.
Minimize the
Decreasing the radius of exploration and starting radius of a game. What you can see actually. So
which is actually a good idea, because you have more control over how you explore and what you meet and how you.
Because if you're a new player and you see so much of information just at the beginning of a game, it's overwhelming and hard to digest and understand what's going on and what should I do. So
yeah, still I think this much of exploring would be a lot
small.
of.
Yeah.
Well, you have
Okay, we spend a week. What do you know now? Nothing.
Explore.
Oh, we can explore in the dark.
Yeah, that's important bit. Also, we updated our origins for mage and disciples. Now they have a proper story how they ran away from a guild. So let's see what we have for our mage. Disciples mage. So he was a difficult child using magic. He was delivered to the guild, waited for his chance to escape, and fled in the winter of his life after many years of careful preparation. So he was super careful. He was waiting like 60 years or so.
And with only a knife, because he's an assassin too.
Could be.
The winter of his life.
But
are we like in the winter of this game?
It's Game of Thrones, you know, winter's coming and all this stuff.
Okay, we're in the spring of this game then. Okay.
Yeah, and disciples who ran away with the mage also have a proper information. They ran away with her mentor.
Who's the mentor? Where is he? Are they romantically engaged?
We'll know in the next episode.
Okay, someone goes somewhere in the dark. Forums! We set up spireofsorcery.com/forum/ and that's it. And you can go there and read about all the mechanics. In the mechanics, the Russian part of the forums is pretty much detailed. There's about 200 different posts. Currently busy populating the English language part, and will take me probably another week to fill it up with information. But we are describing how character stats work, how character states work, how character traits work, how applied proficiencies work, what are the skills, and so all of that basically. For example, stamina or magic energy or sleepiness, all of that stuff. So we're explaining it, we're showing you parts of user interface. And so we would love to hear your comments. There's about a couple of hundred people right now on the forums already discussing things. There's a fan fiction going on in Russian language where some mages and inquisition and involves asymmetry and some undead people.
It's an active fan fiction.
Yeah, it's not for the faint-hearted.
It's ongoing.
Yeah, there is a new post every day, I think. Short story. So basically, we would love those of you who would like to take part in the beta to join the forums, and once we dump all the mechanic information, read that and give us your feedback. We already identified a skill icon that people don't seem to understand, which is artificing, and we will change that. And also, people complained about the state of poisoned, and we changed that icon too. So we're pretty good. We're not going there and saying no. That was it. That was everything I could say.
I think you can show the new state icons on disciples that are showing hunger and
so
conditions.
what was introduced? What are the new states for disciples? We are extending existing mechanics, and there's some changes, right? So what is this? One is we've changed. Okay, let's go up. Here it is. So one of the new states is sleepy, and how it differs from tired, right? We have this moon.
So this is tired, like the yellow moon is tired, the orange moon is exhausted.
Yep.
It means physical exhaustion. And if different activities cause you to become sleepy, could be that you're sick, you're ill, some symptoms, then eventually you become sleepy and you want to sleep, and it affects your willpower, intellect, and something else. Three items. Now, memory. Then,
Are you sleepy?
yes.
Would you
I
say
am.
that it's called
exhausted.
drowsy?
Could be drowsy, yeah. Could be drowsy. We discussed that. We're not very good in English. The second change we've done is if you look at the second row, on the left side, so on the left side, second row, we have magic, alchemy, tired, exhausted, and then you see two gray skulls. The left skull with a question mark means symptom due to unknown cause. The symptom with the red thing inside is symptom due to unknown established cause, and the red skull is illness which has been diagnosed. So to give you an idea, let's say a disciple comes back from an expedition and he has a nose bleeding. We don't know why. Maybe he got poisoned in the swamps.
Yeah.
Maybe he...
No. If he's poisoned in the swamp, we will know it because it's the consequences of swamp.
If we know that poison. Because maybe we did not research that poison, so
okay.
we see the event that the snake bit him, but we don't know what kind of poisoning is this, and he's got nose bleeding. So this nose bleeding will be shown with this red question mark icon, and then you'll have to diagnose exactly what kind of poison he had and then find a cure. If he is sick with something known, let's say gray fever, and he has the same nose bleeding, it'll have a different icon. So you already know what is the reason, and you kind of just go to your encyclopedia and find out if it's risky or not to let him stay with those. What else? Poison. We changed poison. Can you?
Yep, let's go see some poison.
So the discussions went like this, basically. Someone mentioned on the forums that the poison icon, which is in the top part, you can see the green next to the broken heart, that this icon looks too positive because we use green to show positive stuff. And
we're trying to color code these icons. Red is bad, green is good. So
it's poetic.
mostly.
Red is bad.
Of course.
Green is good. No, green is good is not rhyming. Okay, but red is bad. So red is bad, that's for sure. And orange is almost as bad as red. Yellow is kind of
In the middle?
yeah, needs your attention.
Yes,
Our
in the middle.
blood is poisoned with bad color.
Yeah. So we thought that person has a merit in the comment that the poison icon of green drop could lead some people to think that, I don't know, this is a cure, or maybe it's not really that bad. And so I asked our beautiful artist Rita if she could do some alternatives, and she said no. She said, we agreed that poison is, green, so no. And then I said,
You forgot
but
to say like.
please. I said, people will be so happy if you do something new. And she said, okay. And then she had 2 coffees and a croissant, and then she did all those versions of poison.
These are lies, by the way.
No croissant and no coffee. She's not drinking coffee.
Just poison.
Yeah.
Total off topic. Today we have 50 bottles of beer sitting in the refrigerator, but none of us actually drink alcohol for some
It's
reason.
not the crunch time yet.
Yeah, like some
They're
people
waiting.
just on principle don't drink. Some people don't drink for the moment because they're trying to cut down on that. Some people don't drink because it's, I don't know, the summer. And we have one person who drinks beer, but he doesn't drink alone. So since he's the only one left who is the drinker, he's not drinking. But this is amazing
We
coincidence.
can pretend drink with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beer.
Fill the bottles with water and be like, yeah, cheers, mate.
Clink, let's clink, clink. Yes, yes. Anyway, going
So,
back
which
to
poison
Rita.
did we choose? I don't remember.
Let's
Beer?
go back to the poisons.
Very interesting.
18 options, right? So number 1, easy to lose on the board, right? Number 2, same thing, easy to lose, also not obvious that it's a poison. Number 3, again, easy to lose. Number 4, number 5 looked more like a donor or some sort of a blood donation. Number 6, number 7, too similar to the symptoms icons. Number 8, number 9, number 10, number 11, and number 12 were all pretty much looking the same as before. You know, green dot, who knows what that is. Number 13 was a move in the right direction, but too little. Number 14 was kind of in the flags, in the colors of Lithuanian flag. Number 15 was the one that we took to work. And if you move to, here, so different options. Some of those remind me of the flag of Belarus.
Yeah.
Which, you know, could be a pretty good analogy for poison blood. The last dictatorship, or not the last really, of Europe. And then on the left part, on the character portrait, you can see the version that we settled on. It shows that the
not
blood
yet.
is mixed with poisonous substance.
Yeah, but then we changed the little shiny bit a bit. If you go down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes!
We did a massive change.
Let's go down there. Yes.
Massive change.
So we had a vote, and everyone voted for number 2.
Yeah.
So on the right side, number 2 is exactly the new poisoned state icon.
So glad we did, because number
It's
one.
important
man,
bit. Yes.
Number 1 is awful.
They're
It's like
making
claw.
they're making jokes, these guys that work with me, but actually we're very serious. We think that proper attention to detail is how we're going to succeed. And if you will like Spire of Sorcery, it's because of that. Because we didn't just say, whatever, you know, just launch it. No. Everything is paid in blood and sweat.
Yeah, without a good sense of humor, you can't survive game development.
At least in this team. It's either alcohol or humor.
We have both. We have both. We have both.
Yeah, well, we gave up on alcohol.
Nobody understands jokes.
Well, yeah. Anyway,
Stop joking.
Okay, so how about showing some art updates?
yes.
Rita, tell us about some updates you've...
Tell us a story, Rita. Rita is going next week to where?
Oh, I'm going to Germany, to Düsseldorf.
Nach Deutschland.
Yes, if you're gonna go to the Comic-Con, you can see me there.
Comic-Con in
Its name is
Düsseldorf.
Dokomi.
The Comic-Con, 8th and 9th of... Yes, I'll be there.
Düsseldorf, the home of Blue Byte, formerly
Yes.
independent.
So before I go, I have to work on... I was working on farmlands. So basically...
Just a second, let me cover the question from the chat channel. Is there any kind of enemies that are actively opposing your cause? So you're an outlaw in the eyes of Empire and Inquisition. If Inquisition finds you or your mages, then they will try to kill you, arrest you, burn you down. Same goes for Empire. And then you have fractions that may or may not like you. We haven't done the diplomacy yet, so I'm not at liberty of explaining the exact mechanics there. The thing we discussed this morning is that there are sources of magic power, and if you take them under control, then the magic power in your spire increases. If you do it in the forest, no one cares. But if you find the source of magic power in the territory of the Empire, and you take it under control, then the Inquisition within that area will get very excited in a bad way, because they will see that there is a mage somewhere in the neighborhood who did that. And
You'll
so
see the red flag
Yep.
for the Inquisition.
and the priority of them going after you will increase significantly. So a good way to end your game by losing is to go west and take under your control as many sources of magic in the territory of Empire as possible, so that the whole
Just under Empire's nose.
Yeah.
In the farmlands.
And then
Years
they
of
just
villages.
they will just have it as this super duper #1 priority, and then they'll go and find you in the forest and knock on your door. Who's there? Inquisition. Ah!
I was waiting. You.
Yeah, and all you have is like spell of magic porridge. So you can feed them. You can drown them in magic porridge, maybe. Artists.
It's horrible food. They will die.
Yeah, they will not come back for sure.
Okay, farmlands.
So
What's new?
everything in this section, like global map, we'll talk about how we're developing global map. We're trying to make farmlands look like the rest of the environments. So here is a concept. I've just added some trees that look like trees in the regular forest or the plains. And then Andrea was like, I see like a lot. It was like, let's narrow down these little roads until they're almost. So we only have like the main roads that go across farmlands. And here I try to add a strokey kind of technique.
Pattern on top of a farmland.
Yeah, it's
So
not working.
It's more painterly and like.
It's more like it's similar to the style the rest of the
Game.
biomes. Yet again, it's not a version we're happy with because I personally like the old version more. So we'll try to find a compromise.
That's why she goes to Germany. That looks very German to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna
to research some farmlands.
Naturally.
I'm gonna search for some references.
Okay.
of
So
farmlands.
some minor updates.
Next, yes, we have roads. I was drawing a couple of roads, and then Andrei took his favorite one and smashed it in the game, and there we go. We have a road. It's a bit broken right now, but it's not my fault.
All
Well-
roads are mine.
Well, Empire
Yes, yeah.
Empire don't have a lot of money for roads.
We
Yeah.
have a river. So the story of a river, if we look at the very first picture, it's sort of quite bland. So the first thing
Looks
we
like
did,
a bad reader.
first thing we did is that we made water more blue. So it's more blue, but it's a bit too detailed. So we're trying to detail. This is a concept, and then here it's a bit complicated because we have these white lines there, and it looks kind of meh. We need to simplify it more. So I've simplified it more, and we've added a bit of strokes inside, so it looks like it's flowing. Maybe in the future we'll have it animated, but maybe no. And if we go a bit lower, this is
How
No,
low
no,
can
no.
you go?
Wait.
Wait.
There you go.
Yes.
So another thing that I'm working on is a river start and river end. The river won't start like point, but it needs to be fixed because it's going to be rotating
Q&A
all
break.
different
Q&A break.
directions.
To answer a question from the chat channel, how involved is the player with the outcome of combat? Generally speaking, if mages have to resort to combat, it's not a very good situation. Combat is risky, people may die, you can use battle magic, but still that's not an optimal way for you. If combat happens during an expedition, then you will read about it in the quest report of that expedition, of the surviving members, let's say so. You can equip people with swords and shields, daggers and bows and arrows. We have a couple of applied proficiencies related to that. They belong to self-control, which was formerly known as the concentration skill. That's close combat and ranged combat. Sorry. So you could equip your team if they have to go to an area where combat is likely. You can increase their chances of success by giving them relevant equipment. But you will not be making decisions. In this version of the game, in this concept of the game, we don't want to introduce turn-based battles, even though we like them and we think we can do pretty good ones. That's going to happen in one of the future games that we'll do after that. The only way that you will have to actually direct the combat is if someone attacks your spire. If the Inquisition comes to you, adventurers come to you, robbers come to you, if there is someone knocking on the door of the spire, then you will have to conduct the combat. So you will choose your spells, you will choose your equipment, and you, the mage, will use those spells, and you will conduct this kind of combat thing. Maybe you'll call some demons to help you. Maybe you'll set some traps beforehand, so you'll see the party falling into the traps. Haven't done that part of the game yet, but that's the only way when you will have direct control over the actual combat. The reasons for this and the vision of our designer is that if combat is really good and can give you advantage, then it should be present throughout the whole game. And if it's not good and it's just a filler, then let's not even make it. And the game that has great combat tends to become completely about the combat. Because if the combat is good, then this is what the game is really about, and then we should do a different game. So in this game, that's not the focus. The focus is survival and exploration and management of your different characters. So basically role-playing. Can another mage create another Spire of Sorcery, creating a rival? So the idea of a Spire of Sorcery is that Spire of Sorcery is the first game in the series of 3. Second, which is called Conclave of Mages, currently temporarily, is about several spires competing with each other and waging war politically, spying on each other, and it's a kind of an RPG with a lot of political diplomatic aspects. And then the last part of the trilogy, if you ever manage to do it, is about waging war, terramorphing, and deciding the fate of the world. So you may completely destroy it, or you may destroy the humans, but keep some other creatures. So it's up to you. At least that's how we think about this. So all the battles and spells and turn-based situations, that's for the last part of the trilogy, and all the politics and spies and lies and trust factors and backstabbing and rebellions, that's for the second part. And right now here we're in the survival stage and role-playing with your design.
It is making a hell lot of
Simple ratios. Just in case,
In case anyone gets hungry. What else is
They
there?
surely like it, eating.
Simple food.
Yeah.
We left our art assets on the river, so let's continue.
Yeah.
What's next?
Sea.
Ocean.
Same. Yeah. So if we go from the start, our sea was a little bit noisy and
Our
it's
sea
like-
was a little bit crappy.
Our whole map was
Yeah.
kind of noisy and
My eyes are
acidic.
bleeding.
So it's a very good flashback for you guys as well to see where we came from,
No.
just to appreciate. So the sea became less and less noisy. Old version. Until it became just and then we
Just
started
water,
feeling-
just
water.
water.
Yeah. So here's some concepts.
1, 2, 3, 4. I
Yes.
like 2.
Why?
Maybe
So
4. No,
but-
2 is good. 2 is good.
that is the point. 2 is good because it kind of you see that is the sea. You see the waves. There's a bit of white there. Whereas 1 there is no white, and 4 as well. And here is like a more illustrated version of the waves.
It's like in the books.
But we will still search for solutions of how to make the waves move towards the shore, because right now they're sort of going one way, which is kind of odd.
But at the same time, when we was researching old maps, right?
Yeah.
They weren't bothering
Yeah.
about the direction of waves because it was illustrative, simplified way how to draw
Yeah.
ocean. So there was no idea behind it to draw the proper direction.
Yeah, so it's a thing to think about. Yet again, this problem will become probably more visible when we'll have if we'll have animation of waves
That's right,
in
yeah.
the ocean. Yeah. So our map is a little bit more advanced than the medieval maps, so maybe we'll have to make the illustration more advanced as well.
I think we can make medieval maps, but could those people make a game? No. We're 1-1 to 0.
Conspiracy, maybe they did. Maybe Egyptians already did.
That's the asymmetry in the world.
the lake. So in the beginning as well, the lake. Here's the lake and some. This is ancient forest, by the way. So we had some really nice water shader, very realistic.
This looks like you're looking at bacteria under the microscope.
It does.
Hey, it's just the early game.
Yeah.
And whoa, what is going on there?
Oh, amazing
A
lake.
spawning of fish.
I think this is a solution for all the problems for mage. Just put a spire in the
Inside
middle
the-
of the
Yeah.
ocean,
Yeah.
and then Inquisition
Until you
should
discover
should swim
swimming.
to-
Oh,
You have a couple of trees around you.
yeah.
It's perfect disguise.
Next is just another bland version, already in a sketchy ancient forest, by the way. Wasn't.
But you can see that this is not good. We were not. I would say I was very unhappy with that sort of map.
You can see the start of the river in the middle of the lake. See, there's a tiny
Yeah.
slug hiding behind the tree. And this is where Andrei started testing out shaders, like fancy wave shaders. And
I think we can make a book with illustrations like Find Willy or how it was, and
Yeah,
will be Fantastic Look.
fine for
Yes.
solution.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Waldo, yeah.
Ah,
fine.
Waldo,
There you
yeah.
go.
All right,
Makes
that's
So this is
another.
a concept
Yeah.
of the waves that we wanted
So we
to
wanted
look
to
like.
make it more illustrative.
Yeah.
So it's
Keep
hand
moving.
drawn.
Keep moving.
And these are already the lake with the shore. It has a line art to it, and it has like moving. If you look at the in game at the lake, there you go. See, the texture is moving.
See,
before-
it's not a sea, it's a lake. Why did you say sea?
You got
no.
me. You got me good.
Going back to the earlier discussion, you see there's a bottle of whiskey on the table of Andrei, and it's there for 2 years now. So you know that things are not bad yet. Because when one day you come to the office and you see that bottle
The
is
bottle
half
is
empty.
gone,
No.
and Andrei is
It's like
gone.
starting, it's like starting to, there's less and less whiskey left. Then you know that we're entering the crunch phase. But yeah.
The beer in the fridge is also gone. You know?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, this is a bit of
So
a map.
that's it for a global map, but we also have some updates for inventory items.
My
Yes.
favorite part,
We have the eye flower. Go up, 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 up.
the eye flower.
Yes. Up. So, we started with concept art because it's a fictional plant. We have plants that we have in our world, and we have plants that are fictional. This
We are
plant-
very anal about that. We're very specific about how we design new items. We don't want to start just creating this icon of that item, but first we have to understand the item.
We need to
Well,
research it before we create the final item, yes.
because in stuff like real plants we have in real life, you have photo references, so you can simplify them into an item very easily without it. Or when you're making a book or something, or a bottle. But when it comes to plants, it's better to create a plant that is more detailed and then simplify it, the item. So this plant was created by an old mage lady some time ago to spy on everyone. And now it's a very, very rare plant right now because they were killed off a lot. Now it's
They're
almost-
used as an alchemic ingredient, but no
Yeah.
one is repopulating them. So
Yeah.
they're kind of dying off.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the finished concept, and this is the difficult part where you have to simplify this thing into an item to make it look understandable and good. And in this case, the design will suffer eventually and become more simplified. So here are some sketches of how we're gonna place the item, and here are some color solutions.
It's like a million of different color solutions. I hope now no one has any questions about why we're not launching tomorrow.
Yes, took me ages.
Everything is in the game for a reason.
Okay, so we chose this color, but the shape was a bit too complex, and we kind of like the old concept of the eye being closed a little bit. So we returned to the older idea and tried to close the eye a little bit, remove the details, make it more simplified so that if we look at it from a distance, it looks more understandable, more readable. So there you go, version B.
1, 2, 3, and
1,
is
2, 3, and B.
yeah. I can't count. I don't know what goes after 3.
It's 3 and the line.
That's what 4 looks like.
How do you
right?
count? 1, 2, 3.
B.
Then 3, 1, 1, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
1 and
there's-
3.
There's
Good.
eye flower staring at you into your soul. Next item is a tragic one. Go up.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. In color.
Oh, we're stuck. Oh well. Oh, there we go. So, do you remember Wood Weeper?
Yeah, it's the people who were turned into suffering tree,
Yeah.
They were cursed by
Cursed.
old mages of old.
Times.
and then
Yeah.
they live for a long time.
But they're the
and they
kids.
suffer.
They're the kids of the people who were returned.
Yeah, these guys. Yeah,
Basically, or your grandchildren.
it's like the kids of developers who couldn't finish the game.
Yeah, very depressed and.
They know that it's difficult to finish the game, but they cannot finish.
Yeah.
Some assets are missing. Like it's not compiling.
Parents didn't spend time with them because they were finishing the game that was never released. This is tragic. So, anyways, let's return to positive things. We have tree Woodweaver.
Yeah.
Not tree bleeder.
So the item is what? The item is the blood.
The blood. Yes. So here's some concept for sketches. Because if you go up a bit, we always have this thing right now. If you're extracting a liquid from a creature, there's the part of the creature you squeeze the liquid out, and there's a tiny bottle you're gonna put it in. You know.
Steam tails poison.
Yeah.
Earth leech saliva.
Yeah,
Okay.
mushroom ferment goes into a nice plate, you see.
I feel really like this looks like sushi. Okay, mushroom ferment looks like
Yeah.
sushi. I could eat that.
Delicious.
But look at Drowner's eyes. So sad. He's
Yeah.
looking at you with those eyes and like.
And asking why.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. So
So-
there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, that was quick.
What is the difference between all
Yeah,
these
they're all
versions?
the same.
Oh, let me tell you, it all started in 1992 when I
Wait
was
a second.
born.
They're really the same, no?
No, they're
Can I-
not. No, they're
Okay,
not.
without telling us, please. It's gonna be me and Nikita. Nikita, can you
Okay.
guess the difference between 1 and 2?
This is gonna be
1 and 2.
Jesus, I cannot. And normally I'm not the stupid one.
yeah, he knows how to count. So
Wait a second. 1, 2,
he
and
is highly
3.
regarded.
1, 2, and
in the-
3. They all look the same to me.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
maybe no shading.
Oh,
Okay,
he's getting it.
2, 3, and different shading because it's
Okay.
you don't have a white one, and I think maybe one is a bit brighter
Whoa.
than the second one.
Good
Nikita
job,
got
Nikita.
it.
You can be an artist
Yeah,
one day.
yeah. There's a joke. If you change saturation even by 1%, an artist will notice it.
and we'll be angry about it.
Yeah, you will be angry about it. and
There's a
stuff.
comment that the mermaid's tail. Or is it mermaid's tentacle? No, I don't think we have mermaid's tentacle.
Yes, we do.
Tentacle?
That's
Yeah.
right.
But this is tail or tentacle?
It's te-
It's tentacle.
she has tentacles for a tail.
Several.
Look at.
She's got a bunch of them. She's like
Yeah,
1, 2,
she's a
3,
squid.
4, 5,
She's actually
6,
a
7,
squid
8.
maid.
Yes.
She's a squid made with 8 tentacles. Okay, let's go down. So, out of this, spot the difference. I don't really know.
It's okay. You don't have to think about it. So basically, we chose number 4,
We rolled the dice and chose number 4.
which goes after 5, of course.
It's like 1, 2, 3, 5, 4. Sure.
Yep, I'm learning. I know 4 now. Last time it was 3
And B.
and B. Yeah.
So this time you chose B, known
Yes.
as 4.
Yes.
Okay.
I learned so much in this company.
Good.
So, anyways, that's what we chose, and I think that's it for
it's a
the creature
pre-
ingredients.
It's a pretty rare ingredient, right? Looking at the
It is.
rarity level.
That's why we have a bit of a highlight on the shading as well, because all rare ingredients.
Can you
we
show
have-
the other rare?
If
I
we
think
go
at the
up
bottom
a bit,
there's yeah.
if you see
Sure.
things that are uncommon, they are a bit simpler in their coloring, and things that are rare have a bit of a
Highlight.
yeah, or a bit more complex. So,
So
yeah.
I like shiny things, like pearls there,
Well, the idea is to notice it right away, basically.
flutter wings.
Footer wings are do not
Cyclops
go
eye.
with
I
it.
feel sad for Cyclops. He only had one eye,
Yeah.
and I took it. So what happens with the rest?
Yeah, and
It's
maybe
like,
you took more, and maybe they're like
And he can't cry about it.
So what happens with the Cyclops if I take away the eye? It's like meat?
Yeah, they just walk around without
Meat?
an eye.
No? No meat? Okay.
They fly away to a better place.
Yeah.
To
That's
distorted
how it works.
lens. This is how fluters get
Yeah.
bored.
When I
Okay.
stab one for the eye, I tell myself that they're in a better place now. I did a good thing. I'm a good person.
You save them.
Yes. Yes.
Jesus, and I have to work with these people. Fine.
Yeah. Having one eye is a torture. Killing the Cyclops, you're making them better.
Save me.
So,
Okay,
next thing is the plane.
Finally, a big ground that you're
Yeah,
trying to finish.
I keep getting distracted by icons and stuff like that. But sometimes I have a moment to breathe and draw some background. So these are very old concepts of planes, and you have some neutral version, very happy ones, and very, very dramatic ones like number 3. 3 is a favorite number of mine, I think.
Now, we went for 6 to cut the long story short.
Yes, we went for 6.
But it remained unfinished for quite some time.
Oh, yes.
Like this.
And then, as I started working on it, I started making it a bit look more like global map too much. And it's really difficult sometimes to come back to backgrounds as well. So it takes a while for your brain to tune in to sort of.
Because you use different techniques to draw different stuff, right?
Yes,
You need to reboot the brain. You need to
there
wake
are
up.
different brushes used for items. For global map, there's a different brush. Creatures and backgrounds use the same one, but the lining is different. So yeah.
Keep going.
So
the idols.
this is with the idol. So if we go lower, I got some feedback from Andre. Andre was like, "What the hell are you doing? It's boring as hell." And I was like, "Yeah, it does." So yeah, so
Oh, I like those flowers.
there's a little story. I started drawing this, and I didn't notice that I was drawing this on a smaller resolution drawing, so it broke my heart. Now I have to sort of
Redraw everything in high res.
Well, the thing is, it was very sketchy, so I was very lucky that I didn't find this out.
Very
when it
sketchy,
was-
but very catchy.
Yes. So, there's
like
this
those
this romantic idol with flowers. But I think we'll go with version 2 where the flowers are kind of behind, because otherwise it's a bit too romantic. Yet again, the question is if we want to make this background maybe dark. But I don't know.
Ooh. Nah.
Now you just like to sort of
Relax and
it's a
enjoy
place
the
to
view.
relax.
After all the rusted forest and black pools and battlefields and distorted lands.
Yeah, actually, if
There
you
is
I
no
think-
safe place
I
in
think
this
we need
world.
some disciple reaction. Yeah, finally.
Yeah.
If you can
Flowers.
zoom out,
Peaceful place.
if you can zoom out a little. If we look at, for example, regular forests and ancient forests, they're all quite dark.
Yep.
So I suppose after going through, and our spire is
In the forest.
in the forest or surrounded by it. So after going through this dark ancient forest, you finally reach the plains, and you can lie in the field of poppies and look at the idol.
I think we should have this as an event. I don't know if Kofasa is listening to us,
Lie in the
but
poppies.
we should have someone pick up flowers, make a bouquet of flowers, and
Yeah.
gift it to someone.
Or a flower crown.
Gift it to the mage.
Yes.
Here's the. It was good 3 weeks ago when I picked it up, and now.
And then the mood will go to like euphoric or something. Like suddenly, and then you check why is he in such a good mood? Oh, he received a bouquet of flowers from.
Yeah. The question about the difficulty levels. We currently do not plan to have several difficulty levels. We will have a Iron Man mode, which has only one save, is played online, and you get some in-game stuff. But then in the single-player mode, you'll just play that, and that's it. And you will not be able to set the size of the map. The game is fully moddable, so different people will make different mods. Someone will make a small map, someone will make a big map, someone will make a more challenging map. But we don't think we can balance out different difficulty levels, at least initially. We think we know what the experience should be like, and that's pretty much it. We like to balance it out this way and be done with it. And then I will look forward to the Malazan Book of the Fallen mod, so I can finally play and explore Ginabakis and all that stuff.
And still, we can have some modification for games, just to increase some difficulty, or maybe to decrease.
Sure.
But Something for discussion, for later discussion.
Make mushrooms more. All right. So that's about it, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
Doing lots of events. Next week, hopefully, some global map things. And about 8 weeks to beta. spiresorcery.com/forum. This is where we publish all the information about game mechanics. We'll keep doing that next week. Track all the different terms that we use, and if you have a time to give us feedback, then just give us feedback.
Recording of this episode and all the previous will be available on YouTube later today, and you can chat about it on the Discord server and discuss what's going on and see some sneak peeks of a development process.
Yeah, and then we'll make the game exclusive to Playdate. This thing
with a crank, yes.
It's only 140 pounds. Okay, thanks guys for sticking with us, and see you on the English language stream in a couple of weeks. Next week is going to be in Ruski.
Yes.
With our game designer. Tape. Maybe in Lietuviškai.
Tape.
One day
maybe. We'll do a stream in Lithuanian, and all the population of Steam in Lithuanian, which will be 5 people. 2 of them from our studio will watch it.
Your expectations are too high.
Yeah, let's be real. 3.
Secretly, everyone knows Lithuanian except for you.
Nesuprantu, nekalbu, viskas gerai, ačiū labai.
You know the main
Perfect.
words. Yes,
Perfect.
Aš
Kortelė ir galima sąskaita.
norėčiau kavos išsinešimai.
Va,
Okay, viskas.
kačių maistas.
Thanks everyone for watching.
Thank
Please
you.
join our Discord and forum so you can contact
Next
and discuss
time,
everything with us.
To see what Lithuanian words Sergei learned next time on the Russian stream.
Labai gerai. Labai.
Thank you everyone and bye bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Auf Wiedersehen. Dankeschön.